This is video 8, part 1 of the Introducing Herbal Medicine course. This video is entitled Osteoarthritis and the Microcirculation. Osteoarthritis is increasingly recognized as a disease of the vascular system in which there is a poor blood flow called ischemia to the joint with a lack of oxygen known as hypoxia, causing inflammation. Hypoxia is a potent trigger for inflammation, causing poor blood flow to the capillaries through swelling and microthrombi, tiny blood clots. Inflammation also causes an increased level of an enzyme called plasmin, which can break down cartilage, and also death of some of the bone cells, which leads to loss of bone density. Risk factors for osteoarthritis include smoking, poor glucose control in the blood, obesity, physical damage, obviously, oxidative stress, and high blood pressure and a high-fat diet. These are all risk factors. But what is the microcirculation? So here you can see, if I just get... So here you can see the arterial system coming through to the capillary bed and then on into the venous system. So the small arteries, as you see in this diagram here, have muscle on the outside of their coat. However, there is no muscle material, there's no muscle fibers around the capillary bed at all. But the capillary bed can send signals, biochemical signals, to try and increase the flow of blood, which has effect on the arterioles. So a lot of the regulation takes place by the contraction and relaxation of these muscles in these small arterioles. In health, the microcirculation is serviced by a huge single layer of endothelial cells lining all the blood vessels, going right the way through to the major to the minor. Those in the human body, if put end to end, would go around the world 4 times, it's said. The arterioles dilate or contract to maintain a constant flow of the blood to the capillaries. And the capillaries, as I've mentioned, can regulate their flow by transmitting signals to control the contraction of the arterioles. Several factors influence contraction of the arterioles, including nerve impulses, insulin, melatonin, blood viscosity, and end products of metabolism. But a key factor is something called nitric oxide, which can come from vegetables. For example, like green leafy vegetables can lead to more nitric oxide. High glucose levels can damage the microcirculation, as in diabetes, leading to changes in the capillary bed in the retina, kidney, and peripheral nerves, causing nerve damage. What foods then for a healthy microcirculation? So I mentioned nitrate, a source of nitric oxide. So boost the source of nitric oxide, green leafy vegetables, and also beetroot as a food, juice, or as a supplement. Increasing cocoa intake, 85% chocolate, 85% dark chocolate, 20 grams a day. Berries are great, and I always eat these for breakfast. 50 to 100 grams a day of mixed berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. 1 clove of freshly crushed garlic. Increasing in herbs and spices, a lot of herbs, especially green tea, very good. Turmeric, ginger in the cooking, and increase omega-3 intake, at least 2 grams of DHN EPA, as well as diet. The diet is extremely important, is the foundation of good health, and without it would be difficult to do very much in arthritis. But a typical herbal formula that might be used is given here. So you might use devil's claw, and its key action is quite a strong anti-inflammatory. It's also a muscle relaxant, so it's very, very useful in back pain where there is quite a lot of muscle contraction. Meadowsweet is quite a strong anti-inflammatory. It's also very soothing in the digestive tract, by the way. So it's an ideal one that doesn't upset like some of the modern drugs do, which are used in arthritis, cause problem in the stomach. Then these anti-inflammatories don't. Meadowsweet in particular is very helpful. Turmeric is another one that might be used. Now, these anti-inflammatory actions are often different because the inflammatory pathways are quite diverse and complex. Dandelion root, on the other hand, is a detoxifier and can help to clear toxins from the body through its effect on stimulation of the liver. And then ginger, this might be another thing to improve circulation. Another thing that might be added is a diuretic, something which encourages kidney action. For example, something like celery seed could be used. So in summary then, to combat arthritis is, as I mentioned, increasingly regarded as a dysfunction of the microcirculation, with hypoxia due to poor blood flow being a major driver of the inflammation. Attention to diet is essential in treating OA. Dark chocolate, beetroot, leafy green vegetables, ginger, garlic, omega-3 fish oil have all been shown in clinical trials to aid microcirculatory health. So for OA, the main herbal actions needed are detoxication, circulatory stimulation, and a strong anti-inflammatory effect, and possibly diuretic. And I mentioned here, because I'm not really dealing with exercise, but exercise is also very important in looking after joints. So that gives a bit of an overview on arthritis. I hope it will be helpful to you. So thank you for listening. Thank you.